So when you turn 40, holla at me. Like, dude.
Some big things to this guy.
Dude, you just wake up and you're just sore.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the like, why is my left shoulder sore today? Like, it's so annoying. Like, I get in the car and I'm just like, my whole back. And then, like, I don't even look in the mirror before I come to work, which is probably not good. But when you put a backwards hat on every day, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I start looking and there's hair. Like, right here. Like, right in the middle, like this long. But, like, the day before, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's like, was there some like magical asset like grew on my, like there and like my ears? There's just gray hairs. I mean, it's just, and then every once in a while you'll look and you'll have a hair.
I haven't had any nose hairs like that. I haven't had to deal with that yet. But like,
that's terrible.
Do you straight razor your face, or do you just use trimmer?
Well, no, I use a trimmer.
Okay.
And I just trim I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be in the office a lot, or if I'm gonna do stuff, then I'll trim it up that night and in the morning.
Right.
But yeah, lately I've been letting the neck beard grow. Like total unprofessional. Yeah. Because most of the time it's like, if people want to meet with me, I'm not getting, like, you're dressed up.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even tuck my shirt in.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
That's why I hate playing golf.
I've adopted the tuck life. Tuck in life.
I can't tuck my shirt in. It hurts my belly. It hurts it makes me shit like 4 times a day. Like, I don't know what it's like, I don't know if it's my body style or, like, I've never been comfortable with my shirt tucked in. So that's why I like golf. Is like so uncomfortable to me. Yeah. If they come by and they're like, "You gotta tuck your shirt in," I'm like, "No, I'm not playing here ever again." Nope, not doing that. Yeah, I had a guy come out and we were playing out at a certain course. I won't say the name, but they weren't a tuck your shirt in course. And they came out there and the guy was like, "Hey, you gotta tuck your shirt in." I was like, "Well, I'm not even wearing a belt." And he's like, "Well, you can buy one at the gift shop." I was like, "My ass." I was like, "You're gonna have to shake me out here." Like, I'm not tucking my shirt in out here. Oh man.
So you up having to tuck your shirt in?
No, I didn't tuck it in. I wasn't gonna tuck it in. I told him, I was like, "I'm not tucking my shirt in." And he's like, "Well, that's the new policy." I was like, "Well, you're gonna lose a lot of people because this ain't a tuck your shirt in crowd out here." But yeah, next time I ain't buying those white belts.
Those are terrible. Those are so bad.
But my son's playing golf, and you get the whole. Every sport has like the like that guy. We started getting into mountain biking during COVID, and there's always like that mountain bike guy. He's like got the fanny pack, and he's going to buzzing by you. He's like stopping, helping people pump their tires. And golf, that guy, is the Peter Millar tight shirt. Got the white belt, and it just has that look that you just want to hit with a golf club in the face.
Right.
And I've been that guy, so I can't say that, but. You know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, I feel like sometimes those are the guys that can't even break 100.
Yeah, they take 45 seconds to tee off, and then they top it right in front. You're thinking, man, this dude, he's good. He's about to murder it, and then you're like, oh, you suck just like everybody else. Yeah. And then you go back to your office and say you shot an 80. Like, man. No, you
have 20 shots off here.
Yeah, no. Anybody that comes in and brags about their score, you can go ahead and add about 20 strokes to that. Yeah. If you say they shot an 80, they shot 100. Like, I'll never come in and say I shot an 80. Nobody believe me.
No, absolutely.
There's no way. Like that's not ever going to happen unless some. I mean, that's 18 holes. That's not like luck. I mean, you've had to put it together for 18 holes.
That's a lot.
No. All right, what are we talking about today? Here we go. Hood's Nest.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Well, you wanted to
I wish we could just have audio.
Yeah.
I don't. The whole video.
Well,
you think people actually watch the video?
Yeah.
You think?
Well, you said that if it's over 30 seconds, if they watch it for over 30 seconds, that can.
Yeah, it must have. If it's me, like if it's video, I just listen. Like I just put like, I don't watch it. I don't watch the faces.
I like watching it.
Do you?
Yeah, I like watching it.
I don't watch the faces on there. So are we gonna be like the next video when we get our equipment? It'll just be our faces.
So if we use that thing that Noah got sent to us, you can like move. So it's one camera.
Yeah.
But it gives you, it's a multi-directional camera, and which I'm speaking way above my pay grade right now with this stuff, but like you can move so it'll focus in on different spots.
Yeah.
It's one camera and it'll give a wide view, but they can also focus on different people talking at once.
Yeah.
So it's all coming from one thing though. If we get that, I mean, that'll be awesome. I mean, again, it just depends how much we want to put into the equipment, but yeah, that'll be sick. I think the new layout, and then once we get 2 more chairs with it being reversed, and then have the TV and.
Oh, I got a sign guy today called me about the Chinaman.
Oh, really?
From China.
Yeah.
And didn't see the preview. He said, "Oh, so sorry, I have not heard back." Like it was all gibberish in the email. I was like, "Yeah, they're probably not getting that sign."
Oh no.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
not coming. We'll get one. We'll get something.
Okay.
We'll get somebody can homemade the hood's nest like that. You know,
There's probably
that
sign
kind of
companies around here that we can reach out to. Right?
I don't know. I've been trying to get that sign fixed in the front yard to get somebody to light it up for 2 years.
So
Maybe somebody can hear it on here that's a sign person.
Yeah.
And say, "Hey, we'll fix your sign." Any electrician too. We need an electrician. Like there's so many things that like you just need, and you try to call them and they're 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out, and then that 6 weeks come and they don't show up. So yeah. I don't know. But so what's first? We got the tax talk.
Yeah,
tax talk
first. You wanted to talk about living trust.
I did.
Yeah, family/living trust.
Okay.
Well, we're also wanting to talk about the Augusta Rule too, because a bunch of people have been asking about the Augusta Rule.
Mainly we want to address all the things that you hear on social media.
Yeah.
Which is, first of all, the fact that I have to say that you got tax advice on social media, that should be a flag right there.
Yeah.
Because, if you think about that, all the stuff that's flowing through your feeds, obviously you've had to Google taxes or something, so you've been interested, but, think about all the trash you get through the advertisements you get through your feed.
Right.
Hey, increase your, here, lose weight in 2 days if you just gag yourself. Same thing with the, and some of the stuff on there is, it's like, okay, that sounds interesting. But a couple things that I would do before I even listen to tax advice on social media is see what they're trying to sell you. Like, see what, like, for example, when the employee retention tax credit was out there, like they were getting a 30% cut from that.
Right.
So you had all these people contacting you, and then of course they're calling us being like, "How come we don't take that?" Well, they're pretty much lying on your application and saying you're in an industry that you're not in.
Right. So
that's the chance you're taking with social media stuff, with the Augusta Rule, the Living Trust, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the 2 main ones that get sent to me from clients.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's like, how come you didn't tell me about this?
Right.
Well, let me tell you why. So the first one, Living Trust. Okay, so trusts in general are pretty complicated. Trusts are legal instruments set up for you to pass money down to beneficiaries. So from a tax standpoint, when you go talk to a CPA about a trust, the majority, 99% of the time, it's not going to save you any money in taxes. It's going to, similar to an LLC talk we're going to have at some point. Like it's literally for asset protection. So there was one example I was sent where there was a living trust that owned a management corporation, and then the management corporation owned all these LLCs. And they say this is how you generate wealth. Or this is what the wealthy people do. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they've hooked you because you want to be labeled as that wealthy person. So instantly you think, I got to set my stuff up like this. Right. Wrong. First of all, you are going to pay an attorney $15,000 at least to structure you like that. You're going to pay your accountant, us, which obviously we're not trying to make a sell here, or I could say, yeah, do it. Well, that'll give us 6 more returns to prep, and we can margin it up, and we'll make a ton of money off you. Right. We don't want to do that. Like, this is just straight talk. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on my rants. Just keep ranting and laughing at myself. But, living trust, go back to that. Like, you think about that. That's probably 6 tax returns you're going to have to file at a minimum charge of $700 to $900. So you're going to pay total legal and accounting fees of over $20,000. Yeah. Safely say, probably maybe more. And out of any of this structure, you are not going to save any taxes.
Yeah.
No taxes.
Yeah.
You are going to protect assets. So if you are extremely wealthy and you have residential homes, then yeah, you may for protection, you obviously don't want to get sued and in your main business take the liability from there and mix it in with all your residential property. So you want to separate all of your assets into separate, but you know, that's all attorney related things. Those are all drawn up legally, like for tax purposes. Now you could get into how you pay yourself. You know, you could pay yourself from the management company, and then if you started getting some layers, but you're still not saving any tax. It's all going to net down because, especially in Tennessee, you're going to have to pay Tennessee F&E tax, which is almost 6.5%, and then you got to pay it on the net worth. Or on your buildings and those type franchise and excise. So, you know, so it is good to throw those things our way and let me just take a royal crap on all of them. But I mean, it's not for your everyday business owner to want to structure yourself that way.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
I think a lot of people too see things like that, especially on social media, and they'll see like these big elaborate corporate structures where they've got a trust owning the management, like you said, they're owning a management company, and they own all these LLCs, and it's owned by the S corp and the C corp and the and they see that they're like, oh my gosh, that's the most elaborate tax strategy. They must be paying nothing in income tax. It's like, and it's like
this is how it got figured out.
Yeah,
this is what Donald Trump does, or this is
right. Well, and it's like too, like the IRS creates they have control over these entities. Like they've created the trust, they've created the revocable, the irrevocable, all these different things. They're not going to create a strategy. Yes, there are like loopholes within these things, the tax code and stuff, but they're not going to create these entities so that someone can just completely avoid income tax.
Right.
They're not going to do it.
No.
So there's nothing elaborate about that. It's like you said, I think the most important thing is the asset protection when dealing with these trusts.
Yeah.
And you know,
well, if you got different partners too, like if you're in your LLCs and me and you own a property together, and then I go out and get in a partnership with, say, Liza Brown, you know, I got two different sets of partners, then you would want two different companies, obviously. So, I mean, I think a lot of that structure too is who's in it with you, or you got partners, do you have family members, do you want to put some of this in your kids? So, I mean, having a trust is a way to protect your assets for obviously after you're gone, and that's the majority. You can use it to own your company, like the social media is talking about, but you're not going to save any taxes. Like that's what I think a lot of people, everybody wants to throw that, you know, pay no income tax. You know, that is what you want to do is lower your income tax bracket. You know, so it's more from a standpoint of, you know, the highest income bracket is 37%. They come to me, I'm going to say, let's get you down to 20. You know, let's try to do a little things. We can be aggressive, but let's not go on the top 10 IRS list and do 3 of them. You know, it's like
number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, let's not do that. You know, so I mean, and I mean, there's a point. Some clients want to be ultra aggressive, but then when they get that audit notice 2 years later, it's quickly, you know, why did you know? So my standpoint is, I've always just been, you know, use the tax code to your advantage. Be compliance oriented, and take everything that's out there for you to take. So, you know, if there's structuring like that we're not aware of, but I mean, I'm sure CPA out there will rip what I'm saying apart. You know, but it's preference.
Well,
it goes to every account.
I think too, dealing with I think it's specific to your client base. Like we're not dealing with people. You know, the exemptions on these things are so high. Like for the main for 2024, the estate tax exemption is 13.6 million, and then for married filing joint, it's 27.22 million. So total value of the estate. And so we don't deal with that as much. Now, if you've got people that, you know, these huge clients, I mean, your Elon Musk, you know, people like that have got just hundreds of millions of dollars worth of family money. You know, they're dealing with these super complicated estate tax issues, and I think that's like the big thing too. Is like some of these trust setups can help save on the state tax level. In some cases, but you know, again, for the majority of the people, the majority of client bases around, you know, us, it's just it's something you probably don't have to really worry about.
It's like the old traditional accountant that would charge the client, you know, like $4,000 for their tax return, create multiple spreadsheets upon spreadsheets
Right.
and spreadsheets when you could have done it in like 30 minutes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, to me, that's how that comes across. Like,
Right.
it's just, that's just a lot of mess to get service people money.
Right.
Us, attorneys,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. So that's what, I don't see a huge benefit to structuring or even looking at structure. Now, if you can get the problem is like, you got really good salespeople out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to trust it. It's just a trust issue. Like, am I going to trust this person to put me in a structure like this where I have no clue what in the hell is going on? I don't know, you know, like what entity's paying what. I don't know, because then you're going to run into, okay, I need financing.
Right.
You know, like I want to go buy a home, or I want to expand my business, whatever you want to do. And the bank's going to be, okay, well,
You don't know anything.
you've got this trust and you've got this, and underwriting is going to completely hammer you and deny you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another. I mean, now we're not, like you said, it's relative. Like you know, if you came from the Koch family or the Crystal family, I don't know their names, but you know what I'm saying. Like those families, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Probably not a client for me.
Right.
You know, that's probably, I would say you need to go talk to, you know, I could give you what I think, but anybody in any business should get a second take.
Sure.
You know, I mean, you know, you may lose some clients that way, but I mean, to be fair to everyone, like when somebody tells me I got another accountant to look at it, I instantly get pissed.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, I wish I would have gotten a second opinion on somebody to fix our bathroom out.
Yeah, and I think exactly.
But
you know, I think it goes
7
for
months
any
later, and I'm
industry.
still taking a shower in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that goes to the financial industry too, you know, with
Yeah.
investments and stuff.
Oh, for
You
sure.
get a second opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, everybody comes off as a salesman, and to me, after being in business for a while, you kind of get just negative towards that.
Right.
You know, like somebody's, oh, you're trying to sell me, get out of here. You know,
Right.
you know, okay, you took me to lunch just to hack me on life insurance. Really? Thought you were my friend.
Yeah.
You know, thought you were my friend. Now my kids have cancer insurance, and they're paying, you know,
You got me an
$7 a
IUL.
month. Yeah.
You sold me on that.
So I mean, any financial advising, any of that stuff, like I mean, just from a talking, like we're talking to our friends, like you know, it's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion on anything like that, and then
we're not perfect. Like, I mean, the tax code is
complicated.
It's super complicated. It's, and especially when you get into stuff like this, it gets really complicated.
Yeah, well, then you just deal on preference. Like, do you trust your CPA to be telling you not to structure you that way when your buddy that's in this networking group that he lives and dies by it? Because that's what happens is all these groups get together, in which that kind of, can I go on a Cardone rant?
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't care. I don't care.
So one of these Instagram accounts is Cardone, Grant Cardone. If you don't know, 10X, which is this free advertising for what I feel like is the biggest crock of shit that you'll ever experience in your life. I mean, everybody has their motivational person, you know, and if you need that in your life, in your business, that's totally whatever. You know, if you need that, I don't need that. I don't need somebody to tell me to get up and work out to control my day. Like, I don't need that. But I see how, like, I mean, if you want to pay me to tell me to get off your ass, I don't even know if I would take your money.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Like, why would you need me to just call you and say, get off your ass and do something? Because I feel like that's what those, you know, these motivational speakers and these coaches and this whole genre of, it's sad in my opinion. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, if Grant Cardone has helped you, then that's great. Mm-hmm. But you cannot sell me that he's actually helped somebody. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that. Now, maybe I'm an accountant, so like that industry.
Right.
And I was involved. I was forced. I was forced into involvement with him at one point for probably 2 years, and it was the biggest crock of shit I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, I hated every single bit of it with my bones and had to act like I liked it. I actually got into it with numerous people in that organization because, to be honest, they're all full of it. Mm-hmm. And the last thing they need to be doing is giving tax advice.
Yeah.
Because you can Google Grant Cardone Scientology.
Yeah.
So he's a Scientologist. I shouldn't even have to say anything else for that dumb shit either. If you believe that, then the conversation over. I don't even need to. If you want to, and whatever. We believe what we believe when it comes to religion, but I can tell you what, I don't believe that stupid shit. And if you are making a total, because that practice itself is, you're going to sign this, you're going to sign this, sign it, just shove it down your throat until you're like, I have to sign this. Like you're brainwashed.
Yeah.
And the problem with those groups is, and this is what gets me riled up, is that the problem with these groups is that they all get in this pissing contest and this ego thing to where it's like, okay, for $5,000 you can be an executive club member, but for $25,000 you can be, and of course they're all going to be like fighting with each other to get in the top level. Yeah. And you know what you get? You get 20 more minutes of bullshit, and you pay $20,000. But so for other industries though, if you use it to get business from the people in that group, then it starts to make a little bit more sense on the sales side. Mm-hmm. From an accountant's point of view, it's like you can see right through that. And Scientology, let's just say it what it is. Like the guy, what's his name, Hubbard?
Yes.
He said, if you want to get rich, make a religion. Enough said. Enough said.
That's great.
What is it? Bill Burr said, if somebody creates a religion that has a driver's license, you might not want to follow that guy.
I need to rewatch all those.
It's creepy.
I know it is crazy. It's been a while.
If somebody can find, everybody knows what they believe, but if you can find a religion that gives you peace and that gives you all these things. Mm-hmm. We have our feelings about God and Jesus and other people, all to that. But don't do Scientology is just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just like almost a brainwashed 12-year-old that's still trying to rebel against his parents. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm going to believe in this just because it's going to piss people off. Right. That's what I feel like Scientology is. Yeah, but it's a network of Californians that, they just, the money. But back to Cardone, it would not surprise me if the Scientology church owned his corporation. And so therefore they pay no taxes whatsoever. Yeah. But they pay him probably a shit ton of money. That's just my opinion.
Which technically should be public record.
Well, yeah, it could be.
It should be public record if that's the case. If you
it wouldn't surprise me. When somebody says they're Scientologists, it's a very, it's just being from Chattanooga, Tennessee, you're just kind of like, what? Well, this is not going to work, because it's just, obviously if you are controlled by because they control you. They control your business. It's a cult.
It's very cultish.
Every cult is give me all your worldly possessions. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't surprise me. And then he's giving tax advice, and he probably doesn't pay any tax. But if real estate people, they have their, what's the guy's name, Tom Ferry or Ben and Jerry or
okay, yeah.
I don't know. They go to that, and I've listened to that guy a few times, and there's some really good content in that. Am I going to pay $25,000 a year to do that? That's something you need to decide upon, because that's a good tax deduction. Yeah, that's a legit one. But if they're up there giving tax advice like this living trust, and you get those guys on there that are real estate guys, and they're like, we did the Augusta Rule. Mm-hmm. The Augusta Rule. It's like, okay, that's great. Right. Have they said to you in 2 years how they're going to come back and nail you for it? Right. Because there's a good chance that's going to happen.
Oh, for sure. Especially the people that are taking. Yeah, the one thing. One of the
is this my water or yours?
That's yours. I think the second or third article that I read, just a little bit ago about the Augusta rules, they had thrown in there a tax case just a couple of years ago when these dudes set up an S corporation and they were paying themselves through the Augusta rule, and they came back on them. They were paying them, I think, $3 or $4 a month for their business meeting. Yeah. And IRS came back and denied all the stuff. Of course they did. Denied the deduction, denied the income, and said that $500 was going to be the, that's what they adjusted the amount to. And I think there's a right way of going about it and a wrong way, and that's obviously the wrong way. Yeah. Is trying to pretty much just manipulate it. Yeah. And
trying to say that you pay rent. And there's got to be reasonable rent calculations and things like that. But the whole Augusta Rule. So have I been off the screen this whole time?
No,
I gotta like hug the fern.
No, you're on there.
Yeah, the Augusta Rule states that you could charge rent up to 14 days.
14 days.
Up to 14 days, income tax free. So,
it's on a rolling 12-month period
for your personal home.
Yeah, personal home. Yeah.
So, first of all, I don't want nobody living at my house. But if I got a tax rule out there, I think the example I saw was $400 a night for 14 days, which I think calculated out to like $30,000.
Right.
So, essentially you could structure things in a certain way that $30,000 times whatever your tax rate is, say you save 15 grand,
right.
$15,000.
Right.
Probably the most you could save by the Augusta Rule.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's a lot of people on social media that are getting used as third parties to come along and do that. So then you can go ahead and take that 15,000 or 13,000 down to 7 or 8,000 net that you saved by doing the Augusta Rule. And I'm not saying the Augusta Rule is bad. I'm just saying you have to restructure yourself. So you have to say that that you're in my family, or that you're at my firm, or that you're and so you can't. So essentially, to me, you're lying.
Yeah, it's a very slimy little thing.
It's very slimy.
Because I think it's.
And I'm surprised the IRS has allowed it, because it's not like it's not it's just you're lying, because like you don't typically do, that's just not something that, but I mean, if you can take, like I said, if it's compliant, it's in compliance, you can take it.
Right.
We take it for everybody, we advise on it. I'm not going around going Augusta Rule, because I know from experience of doing this, when something's too good to be true, they're going to come back later and they're going to come in and be like, okay, what meetings, where's documentation of that meeting at your house? Where's this at your house? Who was there?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Where are they at now? They don't work here anymore? Okay, denied. And then, it is, the bottom line is you could rent your home out 14 days of the year for $400, $500 a night. So $35,000.
Whatever like the applicable, short-term rental rate is in your area is what they like for you to stick to.
Yeah. But you still have to structure yourself in a way that so if you owned a business with your family, and so do they say in there you could come even though you don't? Like I could hold meetings?
Yeah, you can hold, it's like board meetings, you can have company parties, you can do like management meetings or meetings about, any part of the business. So have a marketing meeting if you wanted to, essentially, with your marketing team. And then the business would pay you whatever the rental rate is.
The hourly rate. So you could do that up to 14 days.
Up to 14 days. So a lot of people do one meeting a month of the year, to just keep it within, the terms.
I've seen 1099s coming from the Augusta Rule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See,
so because that's the rub is the person that's paying it is rent expense.
Well, so the person paying it, they get. I guess that's what's so the business owners are finding so cool about this is they can take the expense, but then the owner essentially of the house doesn't have to pick it up as income. So, but from what I read, you don't have to report it. Like they don't have to report it on Schedule E, the income on Schedule E, but they get to pick up the expense on the on the business side. So you've seen people getting 1099s though, like for the income from it.
From both. Both sides. Yeah. So the income. If they're going to issue a 1099 for the income you got for the 14 days, then you're going to have to click a button in the software to click the Augusta Rule or something like that. But I've probably seen 6 or 7.
I wonder if there's a thing in there, because what I read said that you don't even have to report it, the income side. Right. So I'm wondering though, if you do get that 1099 for the rents, is there something in the software now, or something that you have to put on Schedule E or an election? In there for the Augusta Rule.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is.
It's in the software.
Okay.
You can either do that or just say Augusta Rule.
Say Augusta Rule on Schedule E.
They probably stick out like a sore thumb for the IRS. But there's a button just in the software. Okay. So if you're doing it on TurboTax or something, they probably it's one of the. Of course, AI is probably taking over TurboTax at this point. Which that's a good conversation one day.
AI.
How is AI going to change
the accounting
world
industry?
And most likely, selfishly, accounting?
I think the accounting industry will probably move towards just consultations and planning and.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but everybody still wants to talk. I mean, that's the same with AI. Like, you still are going to want to talk to a person.
Sure.
But yeah, I think especially like think about audits and reviews, where you have to do those general procedures for pages upon pages.
Right.
I mean, you could just be like, like talking to whatever. AI, I don't. Yeah, but I mean, talk to whatever. What's the AI chat
GPT?
Yeah, so I guess you just be like, hey, email me revenue procedure, blah blah blah, and just. I mean, talk about saving some time.
But talk about it being very objective.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Right by the rules. Like, it's not, what's the discretion level?
Yeah, the tax would be not, I would use it more for like GAAP, general account, when you're doing reviews and audits, and that would save a grunt of like your research, because you wouldn't have to keep up with like the new rules of lease recognition and those blah. Oh my gosh,
it's terrible.
You gotta go 700 hours of CPE for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so anyway, circle back to the Augusta Rule.
Yeah.
That's
And I don't know why all of a sudden it just seems like all of a sudden more and more people are talking.
Because it got on social media, man.
Yeah.
It catches that stuff catches fire on there. And then you got somebody like Grant Cardone who pumps it.
Yeah.
Then he pays Snoop Dogg to come on, his 10X conference, and everybody starts watching it, and it's just such bullshit. Like that organization. About to edit this out. I mean, did they have like Taylor Swift has Swifties? Does Cardone have Cardonites?
Cardonites.
Oh man, just what a just a group of terrible people. I'm just not gonna lie. Some guy called one time to be a prospect as a client, and he had a Cardone Enterprises W-2, and I said, "I'm sorry, I can't work with you." I was like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Like, if you were there selling that stuff, I just don't have a lot of respect for that organization. But you look on there, and he's on there with Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
And he's he's like got some. I mean, of course he paid him, I'm sure, to be on there, but. He sold out the Miami Stadium, and I had to go. I had to be there. 9 a.m, Lil Jon comes out. Yeah! I was like, where am I?
People listen to him.
Yeah. It's a huge following, and I don't get it. I never have. I don't want to. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't need that kind of motivation.
I feel like it was forced down our throats.
Oh, for sure.
For a little while.
For sure. There was. Then they'd have boot camps, like on the weekends down in Miami. And I had to go down there one time, and this couple owned, I forgot, it was a small business, but they had mortgaged their house to pay the $25,000 to come down there for that weekend.
Jeez.
And when they said that, everybody was like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what? Because these guys get up there and they just say the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
It's the same regurgitated garbage to motivate. It's like if that's what you need to get going, then I can get it. But it's like, listen to what they're saying. It's the same speech over and over. Mm-hmm. They practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. They've got the same stories, and then the next guy comes up and he tells you how to scale your business, and he goes through the same. Right. And then his wife is sitting back there in the back with her, hot and diamonds on, and all the guys are like, "Oh man, I can have this.
I can have that.
How much does it cost to get in this group?"
Right.
And it's just like, I just don't.
So what did you think about the sales training side of it? Because that's where it all started with everything, was the sales training, selling the sales training.
Yeah, I think if you're selling knives, or you're selling cars, or you're selling real estate, or you're selling anything but accounting.
Anything but accounting.
Yeah, it's really an industry-specific sales training to me. Right. Like, there's some things that can apply, and it would be hard for somebody that's just starting out in sales. I think you start out sales, you got to know your industry.
Right.
You can't just start selling. You can't start selling knives. You don't even know what a knife is. Or, you're selling cars, and somebody's going to come ask you about the engine, and
sure.
You're like, I don't know. You're just a good talker. You're smooth. Hey, you lost some weight.
Yeah.
That kind of crap. But yeah, I think the sales training with that stuff. I think any of those, if you feel like you got to check the boxes for your corporation to do that, because I mean, there's people in Chattanooga that do the sales training, and there's one in particular that they're really good at sales, but then they try to upsell you on a bunch of other stuff, and it's not very good because that's not their, their niche was the sales training, and then they try to go to management training, and try to go to all that, and
all the motivational stuff.
Well, it's they're just constantly trying to upsell you, and that's what these coaches tell you too. It's like with our industry. Okay, I got their tax work. Mm-hmm. Now let's see if we can get their X work.
Right.
Let's see if we can get their bookkeeping work, their payroll work, and which, if you do provide those services all in one place is great. But sometimes you get talked into, something that you don't really would have never done.
And I think that's it across the board in like all industries. Any sales type stuff.
But no, I did not think the sales training with Cardone was good.
Yeah.
It really. I mean, I just wasn't. I didn't think any of that was good. I don't need that type. I don't need to be part of an adult fraternity.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel like it is. It's an adult fraternity. All those guys you get this following, and everybody starts having just pissing contests with each other over how much money they have. It's just for an accountant. Yeah. It's just you're naturally an introvert.
Right.
So having to go to those type of things, and they're talking about real estate and deals and flipping houses, and you're sitting there talking about depreciation. So you're just not. And so when you get in those groups, like if your just personality is not that, you either go 100% or you're like me and you go 0%.
Yeah.
And because to me, I'm just like, if I know you're trying to make a sale to me, like I completely shut off. I just completely shut off because I'm like, everything you say to me is totally. You took me to play golf. Why? So like, did you want to play golf with me, or were you just trying to sell me that you do windows and you want me to use you to come spray our windows? Like I just kind of gotten to where I've gotten kind of negative about, and I think that's why when you become like a 60, 70-year-old accountant, you're just a grouchy ass old man. You've
seen it all.
Well, like when you're a staff accountant, you wonder like, why are they like that? Why do they do this? Why do they do that? And then all of a sudden you start slowly realizing like, this is why. It's like at one of the firms I worked for, this guy used to come in, looked like he just threw his clothes on out of the dryer. No iron, slop. And back then you didn't have to wear a tie, but you kind of had to dress. Say you couldn't wear polo, you had to wear like long sleeve. Well, this guy comes in, and instead of them just going to tell him, "Hey, your clothes are wrinkled," they're like, whole policy change, suit and tie, blazer. Yeah. So I was like, you ruined it for everybody because you couldn't iron your freaking clothes. And you're married. So like you couldn't even get some help. Oh, they wear like corduroy pants, and you'd have the flipped up back, and of course it just drove the partners crazy because they're just super. The guy's 70 years old and they shirt and tie and blazered it their whole life. But it's just a complete mass overreaction from things like that. But anyways, man, my jaw's hurting. I've been yapping too much.
I know, man. You've been down soapbox.
Don't get me on Cardone.
Cardone's.
Nah, don't get me on any of those. Those other guys, but that one in particular just touches a spot. And then my son, I've told you what he does, right? My oldest son, he loves to send me stuff on Instagram from Cardone. Yeah, because I'll click on it. And then I'll be like, click! And then it'll get my algorithm. And so like I just click on, it's that guy again. Get up and work out to control your day. I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, he'll be like, Greg Cardone's my idol. Dad. Do you know who's my idol? I'm like, oh, you're cut off.
It's crazy to see how big he's gotten and how big all those the organization has gotten, because I mean, like you see him now, he'll be on like Fox News talking to people.
Yeah.
Talking to like Kevin O'Leary, talking to these like big time businessmen. Yeah. And you're like, how in the world?
I mean, obviously he's a very smart, and he's a self-promoter. For sure. So like he's definitely got the sales down.
Yeah.
But the creepiness of the whole thing is just kind of, to me, kind of a stay away. But yeah, I mean, he's probably very good at telling you how to invest in real estate and what to do, and those type of things. But accounting advice?
Yeah,
when you're owned by probably a religious entity of Scientology, like, dude, I'm not, like, there's certain things that you can do in real estate, but when you're reporting to the government, and the IRS. Like, there's some things you don't want to listen to a sleazeball like that about.
Right.
You know, it's like, no, like, talk to the people that are in that industry,
right.
you know, and figure those things out. But yeah, it's very consistent. I get questions from social media a lot. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you wish some of it would be like, oh, yeah, wow, oh, man. Because if you get caught off guard by that, by a client, they're going to be like, what do you do? Like,
Gotcha.
What do you do?
You don't know what you don't know what you're talking
about. But, yeah,
yeah,
we've seen those. I mean, the Augusta Rule is somewhat new. I mean, newer over the last couple of years. People have just started
really hammering.
Yeah, it's been around, but nobody. You don't want to advise clients on things that can get you audited.
Right.
And same with conservation easements. You know, it's like it's there. It is within compliance if everything is ticket-tied completely.
Right.
So it's there, but like it's hard to, because you can get in trouble if you're out there soliciting stuff for like the Augusta Rule. If you're like Augusta Rule, and then a year later they're like, we're going to take all the Augusta Rule off the table because they inflated this across the board.
Right.
And then you could get in trouble as a CPA that you were offering that advice out to people.
Right.
So it's it's just the IRS is, who knows how they want to behave.
Yeah.
I mean, today
it can potentially turn into a very big tax liability situation too for the clients if it gets disallowed.
Oh,
like you're seeing with the conservation easements.
Yeah, with interest and penalty too.
Yeah. Bad news.
Yeah, and they pull that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because people be like, how did that, like, whoop, pick it out of the tree. They didn't. They just said late filing, $5,000. I've seen one for $5,000. I've seen it for $500.
Yeah.
I've seen it for $700. It's like, can you at least? Because I don't think they want to tell you, because some people will be like, oh, it's only going to be $500 to not file.
Right.
Then they won't file.
They won't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Reckless.
Yes.
Something reckless too is sending us your stuff on September the 5th when you're due September 15th.
Yeah, please don't do that. You're not our only client. We have,
Is this a negative episode? Or
yeah.
Is this like
It's alright. They need to know.
That's true.
They need to know. Yeah.
Just know when you bring your stuff in here on September the 10th and it's due September the 15th, and we got to work that weekend because you've had 9 months to get your stuff to us, and you didn't.
It doesn't make us very happy.
Not very happy. We still love them.
Yeah.
We know who they are. Yeah. We know those people that do that.
We definitely prepare for the ones every year.
I don't know. I always try to think, like, if I wasn't in this industry,
how would I be?
Yeah,
I'd probably be late.
Yeah, I would too.
I'd be coming in
on the day.
Yeah.
I try to look at it. I mean, my own parents don't give me their stuff till October 10th. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, that's just...
She claims she listened to this last time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she only listened to like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Did your mom listen to the whole thing?
I don't think so.
I don't think
so. It was quite the long video. I was like,
oh, yeah, everybody said 2 hours.
Well, it's great. There's podcasts out there to go 5, 6. I mean, how many Joe Rogan podcasts have you seen that go 3, 4 hours?
Yeah, but he's got like...
yeah, he's got cool people.
Yeah, he's got cool people.
Maybe we'll get cool people in here at some point.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen.
We
get
cool. Great Cardone. And y'all will go at it like him and the Wolf of Wall Street dude did.
Yeah, I'd punch him in the face probably.
That's what he wanted to do. They wanted to have a cage match. Yeah, he said, let's have a cage match.
I would do that. Yeah. I would totally do that. I would love
that. Would really
to take all the frustration of life that you get so pent up about and be like, now you're legally get to fight somebody like that.
Right.
Sign me up.
Oh man, that would bump our views up right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, our views would go through the roof.
Cage match.
Isn't that crazy? Like, you can actually like do a really good job at something, but yet you do something stupid like a cage match, and like people are gonna love
blow it up. Yeah.
People
want to see people fighting.
Oh yeah. So who wouldn't want to see like an accountant or a real estate guy just totally go at it? I mean, it's got to be better than some of those shitty fights they put on with like Jake Paul and those guys.
Oh yeah.
What's the other ones?
Rough and Rowdy.
Oh, those are horrible. Where do they get those guys from?
From the hills, man.
Oh my gosh, all in West Virginia.
Yeah, and they make the ring coal miners nothing. I mean, they get these.
I mean, you just look at them and you think, is that what I would look like fighting? Because you think like, you see like the seasoned boxer, and then you get those rough and rowdy things, and you're like, oh damn, that dude's good. Like, what are they doing? Is something wrong with them?
It's
they just start swinging.
Yeah.
and then after about 5 seconds they're gassed.
Oh,
You know, I mean that would be my. I think that would be my. We used to go to the Badman competitions over in Camp Jordan,
Okay.
and that would be. I would always be like, dude, just let the guys just cover up and let him
exhaust
and then knock him out.
Yeah.
Of course, my luck, you get in there with the guy that's got the endurance of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of freaking Lance Armstrong, and he's gonna sit there and pound you, and then you're dead. That would be my strategy. You know, I'd just be like, "Oh, here's my strategy," and this guy just wail on me for 5 rounds. Yeah. I'm sitting there just in the corner, tucked up like this.
One more round.
I would love. I wish like that fighting stuff was around when I was like growing up.
Yeah.
I would have loved to.
Really gotten into it.
Well, I would have loved to have done like jujitsu and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, Chattanooga. Where's there?
So there is actually, I don't know how legit it is, but there's a guy there that went to Saudi. His name is his name's eluding me. Anyway, he went to Saudi, wrestled Saudi. He's a great wrestler, Saudi. It's Chattanooga Jiu-Jitsu or Chattanooga MMA, something like that. It's over there in Hickson.
Very original.
Yeah. It's over there in Hickson, but apparently it's a pretty decent gym.
Yeah.
And it's an MMA, Jiu-Jitsu.
Can you imagine the
boxing
douchebags
gym.
that are in there though?
Yeah, I can. It's part of the crowd, I guess. But
I mean, it's like
there's also Chattanooga Jiu-Jitsu Academy
there
on
is.
Hickson Pike, and it's. I mean, you wear a gi, like you wear the full thing.
What's a gi?
It's like the outfit. It's it's like, it looks like a taekwondo.
Oh yeah, it's called a gi.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, and but there apparently it's pretty legit. I think one of my good friends who doesn't live here anymore went to it a couple of times, and I think he said one of the Gracies actually would come there and coach.
There's like 40 of those dudes.
Yeah. And so I think that's a pretty legit.
I remember watching the very first UFC on VHS at my best friend's house, and it was Gracie, Hoist Gracie.
Yeah. And some huge dude.
Yeah, we watched it like over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then it just got really bad.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, that was back when there was no like weight classes.
You can fight a hippo.
Free for all.
Yeah. Them big old hippo dudes.
Yeah.
I've seen them just get in there just like,
Well,
and there was a little dude like Hoist Gracie submits him with an ankle.
Yeah.
Got his ankle out there.
Yeah. Well, that and then we used to watch Pride all the time. Pride Fight.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts.
We need somebody on here from the local. I wish I could do it now. I'd get hurt within 5 seconds. I'd pull something.
I keep saying I wanted to start boxing, and I haven't done it yet.
You're 30, dude.
I've been saying that.
Let's say you got about 4 or 5 years. You got a good solid 4. I think 34, 35 when I was just realized I was dead inside.
At the peak at 35. And then down.
I mean, athletically.
Yeah.
You know, like you go from like in your 30s, you still like your mind outruns your body and everything. Mm-hmm. But then, man, you hit 35, dude, and it's like
downhill.
I mean, now at 44, I mean, I'm just lucky to be able to. I mean, just like to do a workout, like to do an hour workout a day is to me is like, whoo. Used to if I played basketball for an hour, I didn't feel like I accomplished anything.
Right.
You
still run quite a bit, don't you?
I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm out there.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody's got a boat, like it's the shittiest boat on the lake.
At least you get out there.
Yeah. No, I try, and that's the thing. Like if I start running and doing cardio, then that's all I'll do. Mm-hmm. Like I've always wanted to do like go run a couple miles and then go pound out some weights.
CrossFit.
I'm on a slack.
You should join a CrossFit gym.
I would rather set myself on fire. Like I would rather like that group with their Jeeps and ducks. No thanks. Like no thank you. What is that?
I don't know.
Oh my god! I see
really
one cut me off yesterday.
With other ducks?
Yeah. I was like, I hope a duck kills you one day.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't get that. I hope we're not like shitting on a big community out there, but.
Hopefully it's not like supporting something like some like cancer survivor or something. If it is,
I just
don't know what it's about. I don't like.
Well, if we had our executive producer, she could research it.
Research it.
Yeah. No, I don't get it either. I think it's as simple as like people with Jeeps are kind of like they're a community. They're a community. They got their own websites and trails they go on and things like that. But I don't understand the ducks because it's like if you see another Jeep, you put a duck on their hood and exchange ducks.
I don't know. I don't own a Jeep, so I don't know.
Each his own.
Mark has a Jeep.
He got no ducks.
He got no ducks in that Jeep.
Nah, if he came in here with ducks, I had to say something too. Did you go to Lake Winnie, play the duck game? Like, where do you get those things? Like, all I remember is from like the carnival games where you pick the duck up and it's got a number and it's some like little like pixie stick candy something, you know? Yeah, Mark. Yeah, he better not bring ducks on the team in this office. Yeah,
I don't know.
He'll probably get a Cardone sticker on the back too to put some ducks on his. Yeah, I got cut off by one, and I thought I just got cut off by a Jeep duck.
Jeep duck.
Total Jeep duck. Yeah, hopefully it's not like awareness for something.
I know that's what being assholes about it.
No, we take that whole back.
If it is,
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure it's just a Jeep thing.
Maybe Mark knows.
It's a Jeep thing.
He's staying away from it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
good for him.
Yeah.
Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the Jeep crowd. Yeah, it's cool to be a Jeep. I understand being a Jeep community, but the duck thing, not a big fan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a big fan. Hope you get broken into.
It's probably worth a Google, I guess.
Yeah. What have we? Oh, we're at an hour. We're at an hour.
I figured we were probably
yeah. College football.
Talk about college
college football.
I don't know about our picks. We're gonna say that last week was a practice round with our picks. We need to.
I say you hit like 60%. You were on the winning side.
I know I picked.
So if anybody was listening to you, boom,
they would have been.
They were listening to me. Lost.
Yeah.
I lost. You know, I'm the honest guy that will tell you. You know, anytime you talk to anybody about gambling, all you ever hear about is what they won. They never tell you what they lost. Mm-hmm. I lost my ass last week.
What were some of the worst ones?
Oh, LSU killed me.
Yeah.
I was pretty even. I was pretty even until the LSU game, because I took a lot of the games the opposite of what I said on here.
You said on here.
That way I would win.
Yeah.
Or lose, whatever. But yeah, LSU killed me. That was a hard. I watched that game, and the whole time I've been gambling on sports since I was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. I had a BetUS.com account.
Well, you got me onto that.
Yeah, I cashed out and I got a Canadian check. That was like one of those like Price is Right checks.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I went to TVA and tried to deposit it, and I was nervous, because it was gambling, and it was it was like $900, you know. And I give it to her, and it's this huge. It's like a check like this. I was like, "Here you go."
So where did you get this from?
Yeah. That was but it had to go through the International Currency Department. I mean, it was such an ordeal back then because I don't think anybody actually cashed out. Because I wanted to know, like, if I'm betting all this time, am I actually going to get the money? Because most of the time, I don't think anybody went as far because they just lose.
Right.
And you'd be like, you go to the deposit rules or withdrawal rules, and you're just like, I'm like a few more bets. Right. And then you end up losing your ass. Yeah. But LSU hurt, dude. But I've got some, as Charles Barkley would say, some guarantees this weekend. This weekend is. Like, I'm pretty. I went to the UTC game, missed a lot of the early games Saturday. Yeah. But my play is Saturday.
Well, Georgia looks strong.
Yeah. They don't play this weekend, do they?
Do they not?
Do they? I think they're off.
They may be off.
I know locally we got UTC at Georgia State.
Georgia plays Tennessee Tech.
Oh, yeah.
There's not even a line out for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's worse than Tennessee playing Chattanooga.
Yeah. I
tell you, I love the Mocs, but man, they got their butt whooped.
Yeah.
They got the butt whooped.
Tennessee look good.
I'm a big Chattanooga guy. We need more money in Chattanooga. More money for the Mocs. That's our plug. We don't want your money. But Saturday, if you just watch the sidelines, I love the Mocs, don't get me wrong. But you just look at the sidelines, and UT's over there with 17 air-conditioned pods. They could probably go pee. They could probably go watch a show in these pods. UTC's in the Sahara Desert.
It looked like a high school.
Dying. I don't even know if they have water. I felt sorry for them. Yeah. It was hot. It was 90-something degrees. The kids over there, they just looked beat in the first 5 minutes because they were, I'm not saying if it was cool weather, it would have been any different, but we as Chattanooga have to start getting those kind of amenities, or we're never going to compete with the bigger schools. I mean, you can't leave kids over there sweating in this, like that. You got to bring. I mean, you go to Florida. Like I remember, I went to a Florida Alabama game 2 years ago, when the big Alabama game,
right?
And they brought in trailers. I mean, trailers and trailers. Like I was sitting where I couldn't see because of the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought so much crap with them from the visiting section, and like, can we get somewhere in the middle?
Yeah.
Like with the mosques.
So how do you think you fix that for UTC?
I mean, first of all, you got to get the UTC grads that are giving money to UT to give money to UTC.
Yeah.
Because why are you giving money to a school? Like, I get it, but UT doesn't need your money. UTC needs your money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, UTK has got Haslam and Pilot, and they've got these, and I think UTC has a few of those people, but like everybody that graduated from UTC doesn't. I don't think the awareness is starting to get out there that because it's uncomfortable asking people for money. I mean, it just is. So having that job is probably pretty tough, but you got to have people probably like me that's a graduate, that's a younger business owner, because I would say the average age of their donors is in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't know that for a fact, but it's the generation, like there has to be a generation of like guys that are in their 40s, 50s, 30s to be like, hey, let's all get together and like let's help this, like, because I mean, wouldn't it be awesome to have a great football? And I mean, we have a good programs here.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but something that just got the whole town.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Chattanooga is just so spread out, and it's so affiliated with UTK, Georgia, Tennessee Tech. It's weird because like if you go to you go up north, and people in Philly will kill you if you talk bad about the Eagles.
Yeah,
it's like
die hard.
It's just the towns are just there's something off with the it being like, because I mean we got 2 soccer teams.
Yeah.
2 soccer teams, and they have their there's their clique, but there's not. I don't see the younger generation at the football, and I mean there's some students, and I'm talking like people with money,
right?
To give UTC a couple $1,000s a year.
Sure. Like
there's not. I don't know many people, but if you got graduates to give 1,000, 500, I mean some can give 5,000. Like just people getting more awareness that hey, if we start giving, we can kind of. If the coach, like the girls coach, just got this girl in. Tournament hits, and she makes a tournament, she's gone.
Yeah.
She's out.
Right.
Who's not going to take that $4 million, $5 million job?
Right. And I think too with the portal and stuff now, that's just it makes it even more difficult for teams like UTC to keep super good players and because that's what's going to pull people. I mean, it's like when Curry was at Davidson.
Right.
It's like
he would have went somewhere else.
He would go somewhere else. Yeah, somewhere else in a second.
Duke would have given him $4 million.
Absolutely. So now it's like that. It's even harder for someone to, because that's what initially I think would help drive people to these games and come to the basketball games, come to the football games. It's like you bring in someone that's like, this is a legit player.
Yeah.
Cool to watch. And then, I don't know, maybe give better incentives for the people that are giving the money. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's definitely got to be, you got to kind of get some perks.
Yeah. And
I think, and getting the perks is, I mean, like I got tickets to the UTC game.
Right.
So, stuff like that, tailgate and a free dinner, things like that. But yeah, I mean, you got to get the perks on lockdown.
Yeah.
And I think, they've got a new center down at the Wolford Center, which, you're kind of, the hospitality room has been a little dated for a long time.
Yeah, I've been in the hospitality room. It's very underwhelming.
That and the Mountain City Club should morph into the biggest morgue of all time.
Very underwhelming.
Yeah, it's just, and you walk in, it's like going to Shoney's. It's like going to an old style country buffet.
Yeah. And
everybody in there's 60, 70 years old. But anyways, yeah. All right, so who's your locks for the week? I already know one we agree on. That's never good if we agree at the same and we're both going to
So we'll address the Tennessee NC State. So the line's moved 8.
It moved to 8 or 8 points?
8 points.
I'll take that. I'll take it at 20.
I'm going to take.
They're going to beat NC State by 20.
I want to go take a loan out. I max my credit out.
Hey, Grant Cardone has a good loan system out there for you.
Yeah,
that's when I first saw that, I thought
NC State struggled. Which, I don't know. Maybe their offense is going to give our defense some trouble. I don't really see it. Our front seven's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Maybe they tear up our secondary a little bit. I don't know. But I just find it so hard to believe with all the weapons that we have at wide receiver. Dylan Sampson looked great. Cam Selden looked great. Our offensive line looked, which I know we played UTC. I understand that. But we went out there and we put up 69 points. Nico played 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Had 4 or 5 I don't even know.
I mean, I think Tennessee's going to score, like I was telling you, 30 to 35 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to average up in the 30s and 40s. So it really is just going to depend on the defense. Because I think the offense under Heupel is always going to be high scoring. I mean, that dude knows how. And now he's got the players behind the system.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't. NC State is an average program.
Yeah, they struggle against
Western
Carolina.
Yeah, everybody else blew out the SoCon except NC State.
Yeah.
But if we're sitting here and they beat them by 6. Last second, it's going to be a 13-point game,
100%.
and then some absolutely meaningless touchdown at the end zone. So you could say money line, and that would be like, I mean, it's in Charlotte. It's not in NC State. Right. So I mean, if I was, what was that movie, 2 for the Money? If I was Matthew McConaughey and 2 for the Money, I'd be calling all my clients right now. Bet on the balls, bet on the balls, bet on the balls. I'm taking Alabama too.
Yeah.
I think it's like 30. It's crazy.
Let's see.
It's a big one. Yeah.
So
I picked my games last night.
Okay.
I went over them.
Okay, let's start here. So we'll start with Texas, Michigan.
I'm not taking that one.
That's. I didn't watch.
I mean, that is your typical betting trap game.
Yeah.
Because everybody is good. Most people are going to look at that and be like, Michigan's at home. They're getting points at home. It's at the big house. They're going to feel disrespected.
Yeah.
And then Texas is going to win by 8.
And they're giving them 7.5.
That's what I said. Texas is going to win by 8.
Yeah.
Those are the games that I've been on since I was 19 years old. That I would take Michigan and I will lose 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, everybody's going to bet on Michigan.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to take those points at home. Like anybody that is, that's the common, would be the common advice. Be like, oh, Michigan's at home, not, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, Texas is going to win by 8 or 9 points.
Did you watch Michigan last week against Fresno State?
No.
I'm looking, they only won 30 to 10.
It wasn't. I watched the sign stealing thing on Netflix. That was awesome. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole documentary on that? It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's so stupid that, in my opinion, it's so stupid that they got in trouble for that. Like everybody does it.
Right.
Like he just was better at it.
Right.
He just was good. I mean, he's sitting there like doing this on the sideline.
Yeah.
And all the coaches are paying attention to him. They're like, this means pass.
Right.
This means screen to the right.
Right.
And literally, they run that play. Yeah. Boom. Dude gets it, fumble. So, I mean, what a huge advantage.
Well, it's like you said, though, like they've been doing that. It's just some people are better than others.
He got really good. And he was cocky about it.
Right.
I think that's what got him in trouble, was that he was super cocky about it. He started showing up on Barstool.
Right.
Like, they were making memes about it, and it got to where it was just like, okay, you want to do that? We'll suspend your coach for 2 games.
Right.
But yeah, I'd take Texas.
Texas?
I'm taking Texas.
Okay.
-8. Yeah.
I didn't watch either of them play last week, so I think I'll go Texas -7.5. Okay, so we got Tennessee, NC State, Texas, Michigan. What was the other one you said? Alabama.
Oh, I'm taking Alabama because Alabama played South Florida, and last year was the game that they yanked Milroe.
Right.
Because he was playing bad. They just lost to Texas last year. Milroe gets yanked. They barely survive South Florida. They got South Florida at home, and Milroe is freaking legit.
Yeah, they did look legit.
They're going to win that game by 60 points.
Yeah.
Like, I think they'll beat South Florida. They're not good.
Yes, 31 is what?
They're not good. They're terrible. South Florida.
I think I'd take the 31.
We need a Trump impersonator and a Kamala Harris doing the picks one day, dress up as Kamala.
I haven't seen anyone do it better than Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis does the best Trump
Yeah, but
impersonation
dude, the Notre
I've
Dame
ever
shit.
seen.
Come on, man. I'm tired of it.
The
I'm
Notre
tired of
Dame
him.
stuff, yeah.
I'm tired of him.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him. I'm tired of Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all that whole little clique.
Uh-huh.
All Theo Vaughn, his stuff is the same things. Like talking about poor and special needs kids. Like it's all. It was funny for a little while.
Yeah.
I gave it,
Yeah.
But yeah, Shane Gillis does a great Trump impersonation.
The best I've ever.
Yeah,
It's great.
and he kind of looks like him with the.
when he does the wig on. Oh
Yeah.
my.
But no, I
it's
can't.
so
I can't
funny.
watch like a whole special, like a whole hour or 2 hours of
His
it.
whole stand up.
I can't watch the whole thing.
I don't think I have.
There's only a certain amount of people that you can watch a whole hour or 2 hours of.
Yeah.
Like Dave Chappelle,
Yeah.
Chris Rock.
We went to a Matt Rife show up in Knoxville.
Yeah.
And it was
I've
honestly.
never watched him.
It was pretty funny. The two guys that came out before him, which I don't remember their names, they were absolutely hilarious. And
Yeah.
then he came out and he does a lot of crowd work, which obviously all
Yeah.
these guys do a lot of crowd work, but he did a bunch of crowd work and it was pretty good. It was a
Yeah.
pretty good show. Which that was the first comedy show I'd ever been to.
Yeah. I saw Dave Chappelle at the Tivoli down here.
Oh, really?
When he came back from Africa or wherever he was on that hiatus.
Oh, okay.
And he did that round of his first shows.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. I saw Carrot Top.
No.
Front row. Yeah, so this is a funny story. Oh God. What are we?
An hour two.
Oh, no, we've just been going for an hour and 7 minutes.
Oh.
We'll go for another 20.
Okay.
But so yeah, I'm at the Carrot Top, and we're on the front row, and dude, this was before his like Botox days. This was kind of his normal. But he was talking about how he worked out at like the Eastgate YMCA because he was buff.
He's jacked, yeah.
Yeah, Carrot Top was buff, and the guy I was with was a little heavy set, and to put it nicely, and he got up during the middle of his act. He gets up, he walks to the back, and dude, Carrot Top gets out that huge spotlight and puts it on him. And he's like, "Excuse me, sir." And of course, I'm like, "I'm with that guy, I'm with that guy, I'm with that guy." Anyways, the guy keeps walking, like ignores it. And so then he comes back, and as soon as he hits the door, Carrot Top gets that huge ass spotlight, and he just annihilated him for like an entire 30 minutes. You know, he's like, "Oh, did you take a shit? Did you mask? Like, what were you doing back there? You know, like, won't you get up there in the middle of my fucking drum?" You know, we're all just like, like pointing at him. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, he was actually pretty funny. But you couldn't drink in the Tivoli back then.
Okay.
And so his whole, like, he was pissed. Like, he was like, "What? You can't drink it." So he started throwing beers out to people in the stands. But yeah, he was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it was at the Tivoli? The Tivoli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it's a pretty cool little spot.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, you need to start some beers.
Yeah.
Carrot Top.
Oh,
Like,
for
come
sure.
on. Come on, man.
Which they've changed that now.
Have they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I can't tell you the last time I've been to Tivoli.
We went to, I've been to a couple Black Jacket Symphony shows, which they do cover
Yeah.
bands for like Led Zeppelin,
Yeah, yeah.
AC/DC, and all that, which highly recommend.
Right.
They're really good at that, and been to a couple of shows there, and so they.
I think the last time I went was when like my parents on Christmas made me go to the Chattanooga Symphony.
Oh, the Symphony, yeah.
Jingle bells. I was like,
Yeah.
like in that's what I remember from the Tivoli. Well, maybe I guess Dave Chappelle. Kevin James came here,
Okay.
and I was going to go, and I got sick, and so I gave the tickets to somebody else. But there's been some pretty big comics, but
Yeah.
I mean, once you get to the end of your road, like Adam Sandler,
Yeah,
that
you were
Netflix.
talking
Oh,
about
it was
Netflix.
horrible.
Huh.
I would love for somebody to be like, "No, that was funny," and I would just love to be like, "How did you find that funny?"
Huh.
Any of it, like
I'm gonna
it was
have to
just
watch
not funny.
Yeah.
I think he said it's like Jim Carrey, like, you know, they start out at this level where they're so funny
Right.
and they're animated and they're hyper, and then they just get dark
Yeah.
later on down the road. You know, it's like, I want to do a serious movie. Why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Which what you were doing was good.
He's had Adam Sandler, in my opinion, I think he's had a couple of decent, serious, quote unquote serious movies, like Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, that was
It
good.
was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I can't even think of any off the top of my head. Serious.
All the ones he does on Netflix, in my opinion, are garbage.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
there's been a couple. I've
And I
seen
think he
it
does them
lately.
intentionally. I'm pretty sure I read an article where he said he wanted to make the worst movie he's ever made and see if it got #1 on Netflix, and it did. It was like The Ridiculous Six or something, one where he's in a Western, And I mean, if you watch it, it's
I've never
awful.
seen it.
I mean, it's just there's not
Yeah.
a funny part, and it's just stupid.
It's not Billy Madison.
No. I mean, those movies, I would say That's My Boy is one of his older ones that was like really funny.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, like Mr. Deeds, all those were classics.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mr. Deeds, Happy Gilmore,
Billy Madison.
Yeah, Billy Madison.
Yeah.
But there was a couple more in there.
Waterboy.
That's got it. Yeah,
that's great.
But then all these ones and it's almost like Ice Cube. Like they always have to be the badass of the movie. It's like why? Like you don't have to be the ladies' man and you're gonna beat everybody's ass. Same character in every movie.
Right.
Like Ice Cube, every movie, same character, same character. I'm just like, I'm sure back in the NWA days that guy could beat some ass, but now it's like, dude, you're a dad or grandfather, and you're like 50. No, I'm sorry, dude.
You're past your time.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But yeah, Adam Sandler, if you notice, like he's always. Like he did the Just Go With It.
Yeah.
He did the same
formula.
Yeah,
Just Go With It.
Same formula.
Yeah. I didn't think that movie was that bad. I mean, it's
Jennifer Aniston's unbelievable. Anything she's in, I mean, I don't think she's aged in like 100 years.
No, she's still.
What is she, 60?
Yeah.
No, she's not.
She's drinking blood. The Bohemian.
She's drinking them.
She's going to the Bohemian
Vampire blood.
Yeah, she's going to those meetings.
It's her, and then he did the one with Drew Barrymore. I mean, it's kind of the blended one.
Blended. Yeah, with Drew Barrymore. Yeah, First Dates. It's pretty. Yeah.
So is it true with the Simpsons movie, the AI? Like my kids, there's this thing on social media where it's the Simpsons, like live movie, and Adam Sandler's Homer.
You were talking about this.
Will Ferrell's and Ned Flanders, but then my kids are like, that's AI! Yeah, like everything now is like, I don't believe it.
It's not real. Yeah.
Like there was something I think it was, I swear it was SportsCenter, but it was like a credible one. It was like Kirk Herbstreit, and he was talking, and he was just totally shitting on Florida. And I was like,
it was made up.
Yeah, I was like, whoa! Like the whole time I was like, go Kirk! And then it's like, oh, this is AI. And I was like, oh, we're gonna start that.
Yeah.
Like now we don't even know. They're gonna AI us.
Right, oh,
we're
for
just
sure.
gonna like
say stupid.
That's what it was earlier with the Cardone. That wasn't me. Alright, where are we at? Who's next?
Okay, let's see here. This is actually the first one going through this list.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you mine. I got holy moly, my phone.
Blowing up.
Good thing it's not sitting up there recording. Yeah, Tennessee, Alabama. What do you think about Appy State getting 17 at the shitty Clemson Tigers?
Getting 17?
Yeah.
Dude.
I'd take an Appy State. I don't know if they're good.
Did not look good. Their quarterback looks terrible. Wish they played Georgia, so it's kind of hard.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, did they think DJ Ungole was going to be any different than he was the last 14 schools he was at?
Yeah, it's pretty sad seeing Florida State. They're turds.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it just like I said, the way the coach handled that whole, like he could have just been so much more of a guy handling that situation.
At the end of last year.
Yeah, just the way he handled it and the whining. You know, like if he would have handled it more like a man and just been like, yeah, this sucks, but we're just going to deal with it. I mean, I know that's hard in today's life of a camera right in your face, but the way he handled it made you want to root against him.
Right.
You know, like everybody's like, oh, you should have, oh, you wanted to be, then you got beat by 100 by Georgia in the bowl game. You know, it's like, you know, you don't feel sorry for Florida State fans.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida State fans, in my opinion, used to be the worst back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, and now they've kind of, you know, they got some relevance with whatever the guys hit him in the, whatever, Jameis Winston. Yeah, they had a little run.
Yeah. And
then, but now this, and what was crazy was, I think they were talking about that guy taking the Alabama job at one point.
No way.
Yeah, the Florida State coach, Mike Schnorvel.
Oh my God.
But that's the thing too. Like he gets on there too, and he's like, I apologize to the fans, and I apologize. Like, man, shut up. Like, you're 0-2.
Yeah.
Like, go in there and like say, and then Jalen Ramsey's like, who gives a shit what Jalen Ramsey's got to say? You know, like ex-players being like, I'm so like. You know, Florida State, this, like, shut up. You're not, like, these people think they're so much more relevant at what they say. Like, go play defensive back and run your mouth in the pros and shut up about your old college. Like, I don't know. I get defensive because it's like, they're 0-2. It's not like they lost to, you know, Chat State. I mean, they lost to Georgia Tech in Ireland, and then they lost to Boston College, which two very good programs. Should they have won them? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But like now, you're just gonna pack it up, and you're gonna be the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully that's the way that coach handles it. He goes in there and he says, "You want to be the butt of everybody's joke? We better win out."
Yeah.
You know, like we're gonna win out. We'll beat Clemson. We'll beat Florida. We'll beat all the rest of whoever's on the line.
Yeah, what's crazy now with the 12-team playoff? I mean, I don't know what they're ranked now. I'm sure they're unranked now.
They were 10th, I think.
Were they 10th? Yeah. I mean, if they did win out, depending on how the SEC does and the rest of the Big Ten and everybody, but like, there's a potential that they could still sneak their way into the playoff now. You know? So it's like
everything's overreaction.
Yeah.
I mean, everything Monday or even Tuesday was just massive. It's the same way in NFL. Like every week, it'll be like Dak Prescott's the best quarterback, and then they lose. Should they cut him?
Yeah,
I mean, you can go from here to there.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing that to LSU too, because they've lost the last 3 years their season opener, or something. It's just like done. Yeah. It's like no, not now. Like now they got a chance to. I mean, because didn't Tennessee beat LSU early in the year last year or 2 years ago, and then they bounced back and
it was 2.
I mean,
2 years
just
ago?
whooped them. Went down there and whooped them.
2 years. It was 2022.
Yeah. And they had that what's his name quarterback? Yeah. And that's all they talked about the rest of that year. But they got that ass kicked by Tennessee.
We beat the hell out of them.
I mean, it was not even a game. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Clemson is definitely.
So Clemson home. Let me find.
Yeah, they're at home against Appy State.
Appy State. You said 17.
Yeah. I'm taking money line.
I don't know what Appy State looks like. So
I don't either, but I know Clemson is on the downs.
Yeah.
I think Dabo has gotten beat up. I mean, you're gonna listen to that idiot Paul Feinbaum.
Oh
God,
not much.
I mean, it's almost like if you want to be in that mood and be like, oh man, I want to hear somebody crap on Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
Paul listen to. Yeah, because he doesn't do the portal. There's only 4 schools that don't do the portal. Mm-hmm. And Clemson is the only one that's not like a military school.
Yeah.
It's like Navy, Air Force, and Army.
Right.
And Clemson are the only.
Why? Has he come out to say why he's so against it or why he's not?
Know. I think it's just stubbornness.
Yeah.
I think he's like, we're going to continually run this traditional program that way. And I think with this day and age, it's just not, that's not going to sustain. Yeah. No, I mean, kids are going to get paid.
Right.
It's all about the money, especially at that age when you're not guaranteed a professional career.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you'd be dumb not to take it.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Especially, I mean, I would say most of the players that are on these big programs, they're not comfortably living, going back home. Right. I'd say that them taking that money is going to change a lot of people's life around.
For sure.
So it's not just about, like, oh, we're going to teach, loyalty, and we're going to teach determination, and that old school of just throw out every word there that we're going to train our players, develop our players. That's what Nick Saban was saying. Like, it's all about the development of the players. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but now they want to get paid.
Now they want money,
and that's the whole game. Yeah. If you learn that game, then you're going to be.
Well, it's now getting them paid legally, where they can actually say that they've gotten paid. Yeah. Whereas before, it was all hush hush.
So I mean, everything's good now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can just be like, here's $2 million. Peace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if it's that easy, but I mean, essentially, they can come out and it's not. It doesn't have to be hidden anymore.
Yeah.
The amount
of money. I mean, if it's name, image, likeness.
Right.
So I could just go to, we'll say, Trey Bonham, who plays for the Mocs, which he would never watch this, but I could go to him and say, hey, I want to buy 2 million of your jerseys for $5. Mm-hmm. So does that mean he gets that money and I get, like, you know what I mean? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
what's
like
the
that.
rules?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why you need an NIL specialist to come on the podcast.
That's crazy.
And tell us. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't. It just seems too out of control. And maybe it is. Maybe that's why the bigger schools that got the money are gonna they'll eat all this up and have departments for it and heads of departments. And the small schools will suffer once again because you get a good player like you're talking. Like UTC had big guy down low last year who was solid. He wasn't controlling the game or by any means, but Florida gave him I mean,
whatever to come back.
I mean, it's like I think it's like $400,000.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I
mean, a player. I mean, he's good, but he's not going to completely change the team when he comes in.
Right.
I mean, he's a big guy. If you can't dominate the Southern Conference, you're sure not going to dominate in the SEC.
Sure.
But yeah, they paid him all that, and he's gone. So therefore, it leaves. So I mean, your team is different every year if you're not,
For sure.
And even the big schools. I mean, your quarterback. I mean, how many quarterbacks changed this year from like a big program to another big program?
Quite a bit. And it's like you said, it's going to be that.
I think you should only be able to transfer once. I think that should be a rule.
Yeah.
I think
and I'm wondering,
transfer.
I'm wondering if more rules like that will not be, put into like these
you can't go to
contracts
3 different schools in 3 years.
Right.
Like that's just come on, man. That's not even college anymore.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
It's turning not into it.
So who else you got? We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
We won't make everybody stay on for 2 hours. I think we hit our major points
Let's see.
of taxation.
Yeah, definitely the tax points.
I know.
You're
Yeah.
pretty tax heavy today.
That was pretty heavy on tax.
This is the
It's
majority of what
exhausting.
we're talking about. I'm glad you.
I gotta play golf today for the first time in 2 years. 2 years I haven't smoked. I'm probably gonna pull something.
It's been about a year for me. A&M's playing nobody. There's not even a line on that.
I'm a Michigan State dude.
Okay.
I go Michigan
Trojans.
State every year.
Go Trojans.
Yeah, they're +8 at somewhere. I forgot. But I like Michigan. I've always been a Michigan. Like they've always done me good in basketball and football. So I'm going Michigan State. I'm going Iowa too this week.
Yeah, I was
Iowa
State
at home,
two
money line.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm taking money line.
Money
Win
line
by 2
Iowa.
or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Iowa. They put up 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
40 points.
And it's at Iowa.
Yeah.
But Iowa State's just one of those teams, and same in basketball.
Yeah.
Like they can show up and beat the best team in the country, or they'll lose by 40 to Oklahoma State.
I
They
can
don't
see
make
that
any
game,
sense.
the ending score of that game being 6-3.
Iowa,
And
I'm a
November.
winner. Yeah. I'll take it. I don't ever, if it's 2, 3, 4, I'm taking the money line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing a -4 and then them win by 2.
Yeah.
Like that's NFL's like that. Like NFL does you dirty really bad.
I like Iowa -2.5.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
that. I'll take that. Okay.
Is there any
so
games?
let's go back to the Appy State.
17.
17, and that's against who again?
Clemson.
Clemson. Man, I want to say Clemson for some reason. It's at Clemson. 17. That's big.
Yeah.
Oh, what if Appy State? I don't know who they played last week.
Appy State's, man, they got a good program.
Yeah.
Every year. They're like, what's the team? North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
They just always put out that. They got a system.
I'm going to say Clemson's going to come
Have
out.
you seen Appy State's football stadium?
Yeah, it's legit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's legit.
I want to go there.
It's in a great.
Where is Appy State? It's close to here, isn't it? Or no?
It's in North Carolina.
Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off.
It's in Boone.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is it
I
Boone,
think
North
you're
Carolina? Yeah.
Their freaking baseball field and their football field, it's like majestic.
Boone, North Carolina.
That's where Luke Combs went, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
To Appy State?
He went to Appy State.
It is. Yeah, he did go to Appy State. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Okay, listen. I'm going to go Clemson.
Okay.
I'm going Clemson there.
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Let's see.
San Diego.
Who was the other one that we were going to do? Who'd you say for that? So we picked
Iowa.
Okay. Let's see.
You could come up, I mean, if you got there's a lot of games. What do you think about UTC at Georgia State?
Oh, jeez.
I know.
I see Georgia State winning.
Yeah, I think that line's probably around even.
Yeah.
If sometimes they don't come out to those little schools lines till the morning of, and you sit there and refresh, and then it's like kickoff. You're like,
Ole Miss has MTSU. It's 41.5.
Ole Miss will probably cover that line.
Yeah, they look. Yeah.
They look pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I don't know. I saw Lane Kiffin doing a TikTok video yesterday with, I don't know if it was his daughter or some co-ed he was dating, but because you never know with him, but he's on there. I'm like, the whole adulthood doing TikTok videos needs to stop.
Yeah.
Like, can that phase be dead?
Mm-hmm.
Dead in its tracks. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see chicks in the TikTok videos anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. I hate it, dude. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
You know,
I'm so glad that my kids are boys and they didn't do that crap, or they're not into it right now. They probably have secret accounts that I haven't seen, but the girls and like Lane Kiffin doing some sort of synchronized, mime.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You look like an idiot. And that's what gets views though.
I know.
Like people watch that.
I know.
But it's always like some girl that thinks she's extra hot and she's on there and it just makes me sick. I just can't stand it. I can't stand the TikTok, especially the adults. It's like we were talking about, or maybe I don't know what I was talking about, but it's like a lot of the girls or women my age, 40s, 30s, missed out on that as a teenager.
Right.
They missed out on the whole social media. So it's like, it's almost like they were like, oh my, because think about that. Dude, I'm thinking about if that would have been around when I was in like middle school and high school, we couldn't even text. Like, can you imagine if you could just like totally get on somebody's Facebook and be like, hey, what's up? I mean, it takes all courage of like calling the girl's house and going through her dad. Like back in the day, you had to go through her dad. Yeah, like, hey, can I speak to so and so? Nope. Click. Like now you just got 16 ways to get to somebody. I can't imagine growing up like that. But the TikTok stuff, I would have never done that as a kid. I was just too like, no. I've been the same way for so long. Like I would have been like, what's going on here?
Right.
And if like my mom or my wife was doing it,
TikTok.
they would be made fun of.
TikTok.
The TikToking. Yeah, I'm not.
Well.
I'm not.